Hi guys, I wanted to make a quick video because it seemed like the best way to tell everybody what's going on. I have made a couple of posts about things, but it's just easier, best way to explain everything. In December I was very ill. I had meningitis, it was bacterial meningitis, and it took months and months to actually start recovering from it. As I'm sure you'll have noticed, I only really became active online again a couple of months back and started trying to post a bit more and be around on Facebook and Tumblr a bit more. I never really recovered from December. It affected my long-term health conditions quite severely, and I do have quite a few of those, as you know. But I'd started to reach a point where I was able to start living again and enjoying my life, and I was trying to get back into work and get back out there and just enjoy life. And then nearly 2 weeks ago I became ill again, and I knew exactly what it was when it started. There was no doubt in my mind it was meningitis again. I've never felt anything like the way that I felt in December before, and I hope that I would never feel anything like it again, but I did. I had horrible numbness in my hands, my arms and my legs, my feet. I couldn't feel things properly, and I had very intense pain, and I'm used to pain from fibromyalgia, which is there most of the time, but this was a lot more intense. This was absolutely indescribable. I suddenly developed very severe headaches. I was shivering, even though it was a really hot day, and my body temperature was baking. I could tell my skin was really hot, but I couldn't stop shivering. I was wrapped up in blankets. I started having rigors again, like I'd had in December. In December I had seizures, and then I started having these rigors, which was really severe, shivering and shuddering when my temperature was high, but I felt really cold. And that night I had very strong hallucinations. I was in and out of consciousness. It wasn't my normal blackouts, which I get, which are narcolepsy related. It's more sleep attacks than anything. But this was different. I was losing consciousness. Everything was weird. I was hallucinating. I was in a lot of pain. And Lucy looked after me really well. She helped me so much and helped me to bring my temperature down. And if it wasn't for just knowing she was there clinging on to her, I don't think I would still be here. I think if December hadn't have killed me, which it really tried to, then a couple of weeks ago would have done. But there was no way. I was not going to let death come and drag me out of here. I just kicked him in the balls. I went to the doctors the next day and saw a really, really rubbish locum who tried to convince me that I was just having a flare of fibromyalgia. And I know what fibromyalgia flares are like. I have plenty of them, and this wasn't one. Reluctantly, he agreed to do a blood test, and the next day I got an urgent phone call saying that my CRP markers, that's inflammation markers, were 112. Normal is under 5, just to give you an example how bad that was. In December they got up to 199. So it's kind of scary just kind of looking at that. I ended up going into hospital for a few days and then back in as an outpatient a couple of times. I had a lumbar puncture, which was horrible, and really was not prepared for the severe headaches that happen afterwards, which have, along with the meningitis, just kind of sent me to complete bed rest at the moment. And I'm not used to that, and I hate that. And I'm a terrible patient. I'm a very impatient patient, and I don't like doing nothing. And right now, that's what I'm having to do. And I hate it. I've always worked. No matter how bad things have been with my health, I've always worked. And I was really starting to get back into my work, and I was going to launch it properly, big time, tomorrow, the 1st of August. And that's all gone down the toilet, because right now I can't even sit up at my laptop to do work. I was making a post on Tumblr today with my donation page, and it took hours because I couldn't sit up to do it all in one go. I had to keep laying down. I had to do it in bits. It shouldn't take a whole day to do a post like that. So that's where I am at the moment, guys. So please, please don't be offended that I'm not around. It's not that I'm being antisocial or ignoring anybody, and if I don't respond to messages or comments, please don't think that I'm being rude. I'm just really not able to do anything right now. As I mentioned before, I've set up a Just Giving page and a PayPal donation thing, and I don't expect anybody to actually donate or send anything. There is no pressure, I promise. I know how tight money is. Money's tight for everybody. I understand that completely. But if you do have just a couple of pounds to spare to send our way, just to help me get back on my feet, this has absolutely thrown me. This has just floored me. At the moment, I'm waiting for a high-resolution scan of my skull, because my neurologist thinks that I have some form of crack somewhere at the back of my nose that's allowing, I think it's called cerebrospinal fluid, if I've got that wrong, I'm so sorry, to leak out, and at the same time allowing germs up into my brain, causing meningitis, which is why I've had a repeated episode. This one was viral though, so I've been able to start fighting that off much faster. Thank God. But I did have a cold the week before. It was only mild, but I think that's where the germ came from, and it went up into my brain. I had a couple of weird things that had happened in the days just before I got ill. I had a day where I was unconscious nearly all day, which isn't normal even for me. And then the night before I got ill, I became very overcome with the heat, and it was kind of, I felt very weird. I think that might have been the start of being ill, but I just didn't realise at the time what it was. I will get back on my feet. You know I will, because I always do. I'm sorry, I look terrible and I sound terrible. And I am terrible. I will be back. Bear with me, guys. I'll be back. Hope you're all faring well. And please do drop by and say hello, because even if I can't respond right away, it's always nice to hear what everybody's doing. Bye everybody. See you soon.